So it is beautiful summer morning. I have my pencil, my knife, my morning coffee, and the birds are singing, as you can see. So it is a perfect time to talk about Pythagoras theorem. So first of all, let's sharpen this pencil. So Pythagoras theorem states that the area of the square whose side is the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the areas of the squares on the other two sides. So it's like so it states that, let's see, let's make this one bigger, just for example, and a bit proportional. So Pythagoras theorem states that the area, let's call this A, B and C, that the area of the square whose side is the hypotenuse, and hypotenuse is the longest side of the right triangle, and this is that square, so that the area of the square whose side is the hypotenuse, and that is this one, is equal to the sum of the areas of the squares on the other two sides, and those are these two. So the formula goes a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So if you want to find out c, of course you have to make a square root of all this. So c equals square root of a squared plus b squared. So why is this important? Well, because I'm making a foundation for my garage, and I determined I want my shorter side, which is the entrance to the garage. Let's see, let's draw this. There will be doors. I want this side to be 195 centimeters, and this longer side I want it to be 310 centimeters, like so. This is important because you have to determine or calculate a diagonal, and that is exactly what I explained here. So I want to determine diagonal. It is, if I use this formula, it is square root of 195 squares plus 310 squared, which is, let's say, square root of 195 squared plus 310 squared equals 366 centimeters. 366 centimeters. So now I know that my diagonal is 366 centimeters. If you don't do that, and if you, let's see, you take this measure and you take this measure, and you don't know, you don't want to calculate that, what can happen is you have to find this right triangle, otherwise your garage can be like this. It could have a rhombus shape, which is not good, because when you're building it further, it won't be symmetrical, parallel to each other sides, and you'll have problems. So that's basically it. So let's talk about how I determined my foundation lines. So first of all, I set this line, which will be a garage entrance. There will be double doors. So I determined it the way where I want it to be based on the entrance to my yard. And I know I want this side to be 195 centimeters. Then I know I want this side, this longer side, to be 310 centimeters. And by calculating that, I determined that the diagonal is 366 centimeters. So what I did was I placed a stick in that corner and a stick in that corner, right there, so I can attach tape measures, because I did all this by myself. And then I used one tape measure here and pulled it that way, and other tape measure here and pulled it that way. And then this tape measure, I wanted it to be on 310 centimeters, and this tape measure on 366 centimeters. And then I got that point there. So now I know my front side, one of my sides, and my diagonal. So I know that my foundation will be square. It will not have rhombus shape. Then simply what I did was I pulled another tape measure there, mark it on 195, and the tape measure from here, mark it 310, and I got that spot. Then, just for a check, I checked diagonal from this side, and which was also 366 centimeters. And that's how I determine the lines where I want my foundation to be. Then I remove those stakes that were on the corners, and you place two of them like so we can tie a string around them, so that you don't have anything in that corner, because you want the foundation framing boards to be connected in that corner, so you can have perfect corner of the foundation of the concrete. And I did that on all four sides, removed all those stakes, and now I have lines for my foundation. Now, once you have those lines figured out, next what you have to do is to make your foundation level. As you can see, my yard is on the slope, and this is about 15 centimeters taller then this side, which is 0. And also check out those back sides. Those are about 30 centimeters tall. So how I determined that was, you place a piece of rebar in one corner, like so, and then I used my water level kit, which is from Parkside. You determine your first spot. To me it is this corner where I want it to be 0, and that is my lowest spot of the foundation. You tape water level kit to it, like so, and that is about at the mark 4. Then you take this cap off, like so, and then you go to one of your corners you want to measure. Let's take this in. So you take this cap off and watch the water level go up, like so. You leave it for a second for water to stabilize. And as you can see, it is right on the money. So once the water level stabilizes, it is equal like on that side. I don't know if you can see that, but that is my mark. Make a water level there, right on the lines. As you can see, I'm lifting this side, water level goes up. I'm lowering this side, water level goes down. So you watch there and make it on the line, like so, and then you check here and it is right on the line. Now I want my foundation to be on a slight slope, so I will have to move this line like a centimeter lower, and then I will have a slope if in case of water goes inside or whatever, it can drain. Now you place a thumb on here, because when you stand up, the water will run out on the other side, and you check all other two sides. Let's see here. Let's say that my lines are about here tall. I will presume it is around there, but you have to watch on the other side, which you can't see right now. There, water level is right on the lines, and also here. It is kind of hard to film with my head cam, but I think you get the point. Let's take a look. As you can see, the side that I'm measuring is now higher, and you can see that the water level here is also higher. So I have to move the other side on the corner that I'm measuring. You have to move it and watch here to make the water level in line with the string. So right here I am moving my water level up and down and watching the other side. You can't see it right now because it's far away. Lowering, and there is right on the line, and as you can see, this measurement is not right. I have to lower a string a bit, and you do that because, as you can see, we always trip on this because I did it too early. But all you do is move the string down on those stakes, and there you have it.